let's have a
Hi, Dway.
So I was whenever I try to do the like try to read from the file, right? Then I always got an error.
What kind of error is that?
Like I don't remember it now.
Yeah. So I said you right. Whenever you get any error message, right? You just post it on WhatsApp, no?
No, but it is in my father's number. So then I don't have that. Like I cannot do it all the time, right? So then
Yeah.
and
No.
it's also very late night. So then
Okay. So maybe we can do this whenever you find some time, right? You just ping me separately, so I'll fix the issue. We'll connect on Zoom and then try to see how I can help you. Okay. Yeah. So
So
good
I
evening to
made
all of
a
you.
game in Python.
What is that?
I made a game for my father's birthday in Python.
In Python. Wow.
Yeah.
So would you use Python alone, or did you do it on Scratch?
No, Scratch. Because Scratch it helps you, but it does not like let you do it separately. So from with the Pygame module, then I started doing it.
Okay. Yeah, Hasni is also joined, and then Anita is there. Yes. Okay. Yeah. May I know, is this Ryan? Anita, is that you?
Yes, Gopal.
Okay. Fine. Yeah,
Just
sure.
changed the name.
Okay. Fine. Yeah, sure. So just wanted to make sure. Okay. So good evening to all of you. So good to see you back after so many days. So last week I could not make it, and then the next day, some of you were not able to attend. So we will do an additional class. Okay, I'll give you maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. Okay. So Aditya is not able to. Yeah, he's not able to
So
hear us.
you never explained how to make a custom check
Oh,
exception.
a custom, right? Yeah, that's what my question is also today. So let me share my quickly. Let me share my screen, and then we'll go through the items. Okay. So today, right? Today we will be learning about the arrays. Okay. Let's see. So we'll be learning the arrays today,
The
and
lists.
I'll explain what is that array. So before that, as usual, we'll do the revision. So first question to Sneha.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, hi. So first question to you.
All errors and exceptions are subclasses of. Can I say object or is that like
Object is a super class
a
actually.
superclass? Okay, so then with throwable, right?
Yeah. You are almost reached. What is that?
Throwable.
Right. So exceptions and errors are subclasses of throwable. Okay, that's good. So next one. Next one to okay. Next one to Hasni. Second and third to you. Oh, sorry, I did the same. I think during this one is yeah. So Hasni, are you there, Hasni?
Yeah.
Yeah. Second and third question to you. Read the second question. Hasni?
Um,
Yeah. Dash type of exception can be identified during compile time. What type of exception we can identify? Like, during compile time, before compiling, right? It gives some red color underline, right? So if we get that
Size
during the
in the
exception,
chat.
so then we call it as
Checked error.
exactly perfect. So what about the second one, the third one?
Unchecked.
Correct. So the third one is unchecked exception. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This one goes to Anita. The keywords used by switch statement are. What keywords does the switch statement use?
Switch off the expression.
Yeah, I'm asking about the keywords. What Java keywords does it use? The switch statement. So how many keywords are there?
Three keywords.
Okay, name it.
Switch,
Okay,
break.
repeat again.
Switch,
Okay,
case, break, and default 4.
correct. So you can, no need to use continue here. Yeah, continue, I'll explain later. When we, continue, not now. So yeah, four keywords that we'll be using in the switch statement. One is switch, and then case, and then break, and then default. Okay, default is like else block. So if no condition matches, no case statement matches, it will land in the default. Okay. So next one to Advai.
How many case statements can be written in a switch statement and numbered?
Yeah, it can be a number of case statements you can write. So next one to you also.
Can we have a duplicate literal or constant in case statement? False. No.
False. So we cannot have duplicate literals, right? Case 1 colon
This one
and
is
then again,
unique, right?
yeah, it is unique. Exactly. So now next one is Anita. Break keyword is in switch statement is used for dash. Why do we use break keyword?
Come out from the
Okay.
block.
Yeah, come out from the block. So the block of statements, let's see an example. Suppose if we have, this is a block, right? So within this block, if you want to exit, right? So you can just make it as break. Where did it go? Yeah. So here you can make it as break like this. So what break will do, it will exit from the first block. Okay, from this block it will exit and then this condition will be executed. Okay, good. Now let's go to the next question. Yeah, next one is what the expression in the switch statement can be of dash types. So again to you, Anita. So the expression in switch can be of
Nested type.
no type. What is the
So
type?
can I say?
Yeah, 1 second. So what is the type of the expression inside the switch?
Meaning integer, byte.
Right. So the case is there, right? Case statement. So inside the case statement, what literals you can add? So you can add byte, you can add int, you can add
Short, long.
enum, you can add short, long. Yeah, perfect.
So you were
Good.
going to explain enumerator.
Yeah, the one we'll check it. I'll make a note of it. Enum and yeah, I'll just make a note of it. So next one. Yeah, this one I'll pass it to Aditya. Dash or the shortcut keys to be used in debugging. So you can send it in the chat. So what shortcut keys that we can use?
So I also send in the chat.
Okay, you say it, Adri.
F7, F8, F9.
Correct. F7, F8, F9. We can use all the shortcut keys. And the last one to Hasni. Hasni,
Yeah, we can write a custom exception.
yes, we have seen the built-in exceptions, right? Like array index out of bounds or arithmetic exception, a file not found exception, right? Something like that. I want to write my own. So like Hasni found improper values exception, something like that. So can I have my own class like that, exception class?
Yes.
We can, right? So what it should do? The class must, the custom exception must extend
to exception.
Correct, extend to two ways. Either it can extend to exception or runtime exception. If you want to make it a checked exception, right? If you want to write a custom exception, custom checked exception, right? Checked exceptions, you must always extend to exception. If you want to make it runtime, like, when you run the program at that time, you want to see the exception, then you can write it, extend it to runtime exception. Okay, I'll explain this part also, okay, during the program. So yes, now you're done with the revision. Good that you are slightly following what Java is. Okay, from next class onwards, I want you all to write programs. So most of the keywords in Java and the basics, right, we are learned already. So now it's application of your thoughts. Okay, so from next class onwards, I want you to apply your knowledge, whatever you have learned so far in last 10 to 11 classes. Okay, yes. So this is also quite important. So that's why I wanted to add this part also, arrays. So let's talk about arrays. So what do you mean by array? So
A list. It
have you
stores a list.
ever heard about this word array?
Yes.
The term you heard it, right? So what do you mean by array?
Arrays are the list of like objects in a like it stores multiple values.
Exactly. So arrays is like collection of items. Like if I ask you, so what are the array of objects that you carry to school? You say I carry book, I carry tiffin box, I carry a pencil, I carry eraser, I carry sharpener. So these are all different items, right? All these items, right? We call individual items, we call it as element. Okay. So and if you are collecting all these elements in one variable, right, then we call it as arrays. Okay, I'm going to explain it in the code also. You'll get some better idea. Okay, and so use it to store many values in a single variable. So like you see an example here. So syntax, how to declare an array. So array is declared by using the square brackets here. Can you see the square brackets here just beside the int? So this is the array actually. So means even numbers is the variable name. And what is this even numbers variable represents? It represents an array of int values. Okay, so means you want to assign a values to it, right? So you can directly assign using flower brackets like this is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8. So how many elements are here?
4.
4 elements. So what are they?
But it starts from the 0th index.
Yeah, correct. So we'll come to that. Okay, so how many elements are here?
4.
4 elements, right? So we have 4 elements. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is the size of the even numbers?
4.
What is the size of the even number? Even number size is 4. So if you want to retrieve a value 2, which is at first place, right? So it follows the order, okay? Arrays, right? It always follows the order. Like, this the first element is always at 0th index. Okay, let me add it here. Let me add it here, okay?
So the second will be the first index and second.
Okay, now, yes, Advay?
So the second element will start from 1 and 2.
Right. So now I'm going to ask you some questions. Okay. So how do we declare an array? Sneha,
Using the square bracket.
using the square brackets. Okay, remember this. So what types can we use for arrays? Apply your thoughts. So now I'm asking you questions. So I did not explain this
So
part.
can I say?
So I want you to guess.
So can I say?
No, yeah, wait a second. So let's Sneha, try.
Okay. If you are giving the example about like the things to bring to school, right? So can you also like use a string type to like?
Exactly. We can use string. And
Okay,
next.
so, yeah.
Next.
String double. Does that work?
Correct. Yeah, all data types, whatever data types you have, right? You can use all kinds of data types for this array. Like, primitive, all primitive types.
But even Boolean, because there's only 2.
What's that? Repeat again.
Okay. Would Boolean wouldn't work? Would
Yeah, Boolean also you can give. Boolean value also you can give. I want to collect list.
But there'll be okay.
Yeah, I'll explain that one
No,
also.
I was just okay. Yeah.
I'll explain that part also. Yeah, you just remind me
Okay.
when I write the code, right? You just remind me. I'll just explain like how Boolean is also used. So now we'll see about the just syntax. Okay. So very good. You were actually following. I just got that you can apply different types actually. So you suppose I want to have just like I write my own class. Okay. So I want multiple objects of that class. You see in the first example. Okay, let me open this. Arithmetic expressions have we written somewhere? No, I think we did it in. Where did we create that? Okay, math service is here. Yeah, here, right? Okay. Okay, so like this, right? If I want to see here, I have a math service, or you take an example of this. You can have your own class. Assume that So here, right? Okay, we'll do this way. I'll create a new package name. So which contains model. So model is nothing but any class which has only the properties. It doesn't have any other properties like business logic or anything. We don't contain any. The classes, the bean classes doesn't contain any business logic. It contains only the properties. So let's see an example of that. So I want to create a class of type school. Okay, school, or what shall we do? Employee. Okay, let's take an example of employee object. So this is an employee class, and this employee class has got private string and then name. We want to know the name of the employee, and then after that private, okay, int, or date. There is a date object also in Java. Okay, it is a built-in class. So date, and press Alt Enter to import the class. So you have multiple classes actually from SQL and util. So you take it from java.util, and then I'll give date of birth. Okay, I have an employee, and employee contains what kind of behaviors. He may have his own name, right? And he has his own date of birth. So he'll have the Gender also, right? It'll have the gender, so we can use character for that. Okay, and what else? What else? String. Which country is from, right? Country or nationality, we can mention it as nationality. So now this is an employee object, and this employee has got properties
Type of
called
work.
name, date of birth, gender, and nationality. And what else you said? Or
What work
no,
the purpose
no,
employee
we'll
does.
take another. We'll take another exam, another data types. Salary. Employee will draw the salary also, right? So now we chose this, and we'll take another one. Boolean. Retired means he's still doing job or he's still working. So I'll just take a Boolean flag for that. Okay. So yeah, nationality, and then fine. So we have taken this, and for all these variables are declared as which access modifier?
Private.
Private. So these variables cannot be accessed outside the class, right?
Yes.
So to make these variables available to outside world, right? What we do?
Public.
We will make them as public. So we cannot simply make them as public. So what I do, I have to write public and then void and then set name. So what name you want? String, another name, and then this is a normal convention of assigning whatever value that I pass to this function, right? So what is the value that I pass to this function?
Set name.
Yeah, string name. So this is the parameter that I'm passing. So with this parameter, what I'm doing, I'm trying to assign this value to this dot name. So this dot name refers to the class level variable. Okay. This dot name refers to class level variable, or you can just make it as name of person, and then this name of person, you can write it here. This is also okay. But so how, and this is first one to set the value. So I want to set the value of this name, right? So I use this function and public. I want to get the value of the person, right? So I should have get name, and get name is written. This is a function name, right? So function is just first letter is always small. The next word will be having the capital. And then what I will do? So this is a get, right? So I'll have to return this dot name. So this is for setting the value, and this is for returning the value. Where are we setting? We are setting to this variable, okay? Which variable is that? Name variable. And we are getting using the get function, get name function. So this get name function is actually using this variable value only to return, right? So likewise, how many functions I need to write? How many functions I need to write?
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 into 2, 10. So I need to write 10 more functions, right? So altogether, I need to write 12 functions inside this class. Correct?
Yeah.
So being a developer, right? We automate the things, right? I don't want to write it. So I want IntelliJ to do this stuff for me. So whatever I'm doing here, right? So I don't want to do it manually to save the time. What I do? What should I do? Right click. You see here, what is the option, menu option here?
Generate.
Generate. Use right click, use generate. Generate what? You can see here. Getter and setter. Just click on that. It will ask for which variables you want to create. I want to create for name, date of birth, gender, nationality, salary. So you just select all, click OK. See, the code is done by IntelliJ and I did not do. This is the code I wrote, right? Get name and name variable it is returning. And while setting, it is setting to this dot name. We refer to this variable. Okay, this refers to the class level variable, okay, inside the set function. So it's the same code actually, same piece of code. Now, this is what called as hiding the data. We are hiding the, these properties, encapsulating. So this is one of the OOPS concept. Okay, so we are encapsulating the values here, and then we are exposing it using the functions, using these public functions. Okay, now this is the employee object, right? Now I want to have, in a company, how many members of employees will be there? There could be many number, right? So what I do, I'll go to here I'll write a function. Okay, just for making the thing simpler, I'll just write main function, and then what is this employee object? What is it, public or private? You have to see, right? So let's see that employee is a public, so I can access it from the other packages also, right?
It cannot be other access mode
So
except default.
yeah, employee emp is equal to new employee. Okay, this is declaring the one object only. Okay, likewise, I want 10 employees, right? So what I should do, convert it to arrays. I'll just use this part. See here, remove this one. So employee, and then use the square bracket, and then use a new keyword to convert it to a employee array. But here you see a red, you see a highlighted red color here, right? What does it specify?
Yeah, it required the curly bracket.
Yes, it requires a curly braces. Curly braces means the size actually. It refers to size. Means how many number of employee array objects you want. How many objects in the array you want. So let's give an example of 2. So I want now, how many employees are there?
2.
2 members. Okay. So now, how many employees are there?
5.
5. So what is the size of this array?
5.
5.
5, exactly. Okay, now you see, so here what I wanted to say is the arrays can also be applied to the beans, normal beans.
Objects.
Yeah, correct. Any objects, you can apply to any objects also like this. Now we saw primitive types also. For primitive types also we were applying here, right? So
is like arrays also a data type?
no, arrays is not the data type. Arrays is not the data type. So in the later, in the latest versions, right? It is considered as the class. It is a separate class. It's not the data type.
Yes.
Okay. So what it does is arrays is like a utility. Okay. All the types of operations that you want to perform on arrays, right? So they collected and then added it into the arrays class. If you want to see, you just Alt enter and then click on this. You'll go to the arrays class and see what it has. So it has range check is one function. Sort, there's already a sort function inside the array. So you can use that. And then you can see like this, there are so many sort functions available in, it has parallel sort also. Like, when you are when you want to fast up the process, then you can use this. And there are many functions, utility functions. All these are utility functions. So you want to have your own custom sorting mechanism, you can use also. So that's all, like, application of your thoughts. So once you learn the basics, then it would be easy for you. Okay, so let's let me go down and see equals. So if you want to compare, two arrays, so you can use equals like this, something like this. And fill, if you want to fill the array objects with some values, right? So you can also do that.
So is there a function for appending also?
Fill is, fill. Appending, you just have to write your own logic. Okay,
Oh. Mhm.
you just have to, you need not know all the utility functions. Whenever you need that particular API, right, you just go and explore. Okay, now I want, you said append, right? You see append is available or not. Yeah, this is also a good point. So when, I also don't know, frankly speaking, the question that Advay asked is a real-time question. Like, I want to append two arrays. So how to append two arrays? I don't know. So I'll just see if there is an append function in arrays or something like merge. Do you have this? No. Or what is the other keyword? Normal. Merge is there, and then
Insert.
fill is there. Yeah, fill is like, you want to fill the value, something like that, right? So common value across all the elements, so like that. So in these cases, right, if you don't know, most of the developers, right, they don't know what exactly, whether the API is available or not. We develop, because the frameworks are evolving. Okay, every year we get a new framework and we need to adapt to those new frameworks. So appending the values, you go and then search it on the Google. Append array. So see, you just have to use proper keywords. Java. So give only the keywords, highlight of the keywords. Okay, if you want to work on latest one, use Java 8. Okay, if you want to use earlier versions or previous versions, this is sufficient. You can just click on this, and then most of the time you'll find the solutions inside the Stack Overflow. So Stack Overflow website is there, right? So this website is actually, solutions website. So whatever, problems that we face in real-time IT world, right? So you'll get solutions in the Stack Overflow. You just, keep this website in your mind. So search any Java related queries or on the internet, it will, it will be in the top rated list. Okay, how to add new elements to an array? You just click on it, or just see here, how can I concatenate two arrays? So you just click on it and then find the solution here. You'll see the ranks here. So array utils is from somebody has already written a library for that. Okay, so you can use their library. So this is an open source community, Apache Commons, right? Apache is the open source community. So they always keep on building the new things, and then those new things can be used across organizations. So they're all free of charge. Okay, now you see, if you want to write on your own, you can use this one. So there are options like this actually. So I'm just giving you some idea, like how you can merge two things, okay, two arrays, and then how to find the solution on internet. So usually this is what we do. Okay, now we'll getting back to the slide. So this is like employee object of type type employee with the size as 5. Okay, now let's go back to the slide and see. So even numbers. So what is the size of even numbers? Can anybody say?
4.
4. So the first element is at which index?
0.
0th. So in this one, right? So what is the last element index?
3.
Correct. So the length minus 1. You always remember length minus 1. What do you mean by index? Most of you don't know. Hasni, do you know what is index?
No.
No, right? We'll talk about index now. Okay. Let's take this example. Okay. Let's take this example.
So
And
can I say?
no, 1 second. Let me explain. Okay. So here, you see the square brackets. You can just place it in front of the data type, or the second one, you see, you can just place it
Custom name.
after the variable. So after the variable, you can just add the square brackets. This is another way. And here, right, in this case, the first 2 ways, right, you are already, you no need to specify the size, but you are actually adding the elements directly. So number of elements you are adding, it automatically takes actually, like 4 elements you are adding, it means the size is already taking it as 4. Okay, the second one is also like that. So this is how you usually assign some constant values like this. Okay, now you see the third one is also like similar to what we wrote here. This is another way of initializing the arrays. So now I'm initializing numbers array of type int.
So for
The
the
size,
third method, third and fourth, will it take it as a reference or like?
no, they are primitive. They're still primitive. Okay, so new, whenever you use new, right, it is again a reference. So though the the type is primitive, the arrays is like an object actually. We treat it as an object internally. Okay, that's why you are using new keyword. Okay, so now let's see how we actually set the values for this. So you see the third and fourth type, right? So third and fourth type, we are setting a size of 10 and 5 by just why I'm mentioning 2 things. So one square brackets is mentioned just after the type, and the last one is like square brackets mentioned near the variable name. So the if you take any of this variable, right, the variable can hold multiple values. Even numbers can hold up to how many? 4. Odd numbers is one
4.
variable which will hold 7 here. Sorry, for 4 values. What about numbers? Numbers can hold 10 values, and prime numbers can hold
5.
5 values. So that's why you see here, what will be the last index of prime numbers?
4.
4. Hasni, this question to you. What will be the last index of the element for numbers?
10.
No, index. Index is always -1. The size of the array -1. So what is the size of the array?
-1.
10. No, the size is 10, right? The size of the array is 10, and the last element will be at 9. Why? The index starts at 0, right? Something like this. Let me
So,
show you
but
an
why
example.
does it need to start at 0? Why can't it directly start at 1?
It is initially coded that way. So just to 0 is usually considered as the starting index for all the most of the collections. So that's why they started with 0. Okay. So now let's see. I'm assigning even numbers. Okay, let's take even numbers. And new. Sorry, we don't use new. So we will use what? Flower brackets, right? Flower brackets and then semicolon. So it contains even numbers is 2, 4, 6, 8. Now even numbers is initialized. Okay, let's add some more. 10 and then yeah, 5 is enough. Okay, now let's do the operations now. Array operations. So now let's do the array operations. So even numbers. So I want to see the length of the the size of the even numbers. So let's see what's the size of this even number. So for running this program, what I should do?
Control Shift F10.
Correct. So here I will do the length of the or the size of the array. Okay. Okay. Now there is a length. Okay, there is a length available. Okay, length API available to see to get what is the size of this even numbers. Okay, now let's go back to this. Then write one more. I'll just make it as okay. I'll just hide the first element of even numbers. What's the first element of even number?
Even number.
First element.
2.
So how to access?
0.
So that,
The square brackets.
no, first element is 2, right?
2.
So how to get this 2?
Yeah, we need to
Starts
write
with
the
index
square
1,
bracket.
right? We need to get the index of this array. So which place is this? The array starts with 0, right? So
Get the index
0.
of
Correct. We should use this square brackets.
Then write 0 inside it.
Inside this, you just have to write 0. That's it. So now let's take an exam, duplicate this. Okay.
So you
Second,
need to duplicate one more time,
and
5.
then last, and then I'll take out this one. Okay, I'll just do a random one. Random element of the even numbers. Okay, now let's see. Here I have a use case. So normal, yeah, this is the real time. I'll comment out. So I want to get a random number. Random element within the size of 5. Okay, this one we'll try to find it in internet. Okay, I also don't know. We'll try to find. Okay, we'll become the real programmers now. So yeah, the first element of the even number. So the first element starts with 0. The second element starts with
1.
0 and then the +1. Always the index will be +1, +1, +1. Okay, so 0 and then the index will become 1. And what will be the last index?
4.
4. So 4 is that, right? Already by looking at the elements, but I don't want to write this. So here what I will do is I just mentioned, right? The last index is always
-1.
yeah, length of the array -1, right? So I'll
Yeah.
use this length of the array and -1. So I can write expressions also within the array here. You see, arithmetic expressions. So I'm taking the length actually, even numbers array. So what is the length? Length is 5. And then what will be the last element? 5 - 1. So I just use -1 here. Let's see whether it prints or not. Okay. So I'm going to use Control Shift F10. Okay, this is where the program. Oh yeah, it's finished already. So fast, huh? Okay, the size of the even numbers array. So we have given 5 here, right? So let's take an example of 12 also for the next iteration of running. 12 and then what is that? 12, 14,
14,
16,
16,
18. Okay,
20.
let's keep it this way. So yes, the first element is 2, right? The second element is 0 plus 1, that is 4. So which is 4 is printed here. The last element, you see the last element is 10 here. When
So
it is 5,
only the size of the even number array sentence and the last sentence will change.
yes, correct. So the next iteration, it will change that. Okay, now let's run again by changing the values, right? We added some more elements. Now you see the size of the even numbers array is 9 now. Let's count 1, 2, 3. So while counting, we start with 1, right? The size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, it is 9.
So we have 9 number of elements. Okay, and the first, the first element is 2. So which is no change here because we are calling with the index as 0. And the next one is 1. So what is the element at first index? So index means it starts with 0, 0, 1. So it is a 4. So 4 will be printed here. Now you see the last number, it was 10 earlier, right? Now the last element of even numbers is now printing as 18. So 18, because we are dynamically taking the size and then subtracting -1, right? So this is how we print. Now let's see, I want to print randomly, among this, right? So I also don't know. Let's try to Google and then find, because being a developer, right, we should adapt to this. I don't know the solution. Now this is random element within the size of, so now we have how many? 9, right? So let's try if we can solve this problem or not in the internet, okay, by searching in the internet. So I want to have a random function which will give me an index which lies between 0 and 9, 0 and 8, okay, inclusive. So I'll open the browser and then random number generator, okay, random number generator in Java, within the range, correct, right?
Yeah.
That's it. So let's find, there are some links that it suggests.
Stack Overflow.
Okay, we go to Stack Overflow and see how do I generate random integers within a specific range in Java. Okay. Yes, he has given this, and then what is bug? He's saying random number can be smaller than minimum. So some kind of bug he's getting. So let's see. So there is a function available in thread local random. Okay, this is after 1.7. Yeah, you can use this, right? So mostly we'll try this one. Okay, we don't want to go inside and then try something new. So this is before actually, or you can use some other suggestions here, math.random, some kind of this.
Yes, sir, even I was telling math.random, but I was not good.
You see here, this one also. Okay, so next int is 6. Okay, integer x is now the random number that has possible outcome of 5 to 10. See, 5 to 10. So this also you can use actually. So now let's try only one. Okay, you want to try many also, you can try, but I just my point here is to give you how we do that. So I just copy pasted here. So minimum is what? 0, right? In our case, what is the length of the, okay, what is the max value? We have the length, right? Length. So we don't need to give this because the length itself is already 10 or 9, sorry, 9. Fine. So length is there, and then thread local random. We don't have control, sorry, for alt enter. Alt enter, we got the random. Now let's see. I'm going to enable this one, the random element of the even numbers, and then here I give random number. Okay, I give random number. Let's see, every time it should change actually. So I'll run this program. Anita, you are getting right?
Oh, yes, Gopal.
Yeah. Okay. So the random element of even numbers, you see, we got 10 now, right? So you don't know what exactly it is generating, right? So you write one more sys out, and then you check
Random number
number
generated.
as an index. So let's see what index it generates. Okay, random num. Save it and then run it again. I'll make it a little bit big. Now you see random number is at index 1. So 1 is what? 0 and 1. What is the index?
4.
1, 4. The value is 4. So it's printing 4. Now I'll change it again. And you see the random number
6.
now is 2 actually. So when it is 2, at second place it is 6. Now let's run again.
So, like, you can add
Yes.
a delay, then like, not like a delay, but then like something like that, then within for a certain number of times you can continuously
Yeah, it's up to us, like, how what kind of
with the
logic we
follow.
want. Yeah, you can use, like, you can make use of the best approach. So here what I'm trying to say is, this is a business requirement I gave you. So I don't know the solution. I don't know the answer. So being a programmer, my approach should be like this. I search on internet using the right keywords. Right keywords is what? Random number generator in Java within the range. Either you use, grammatical or non-grammatical is also fine. So non-grammatical would be better actually, if you ask me. Means in Java you can remove actually, so it is not needed. Grammatical is not within a range, so within also you can remove. So just random number generator also you can remove, Java range, so something like this. So it will give you some suggestions. You see, you got this, right? So you should use the right specific keywords, right? So now we learned about the length, how to find the length of the size of the even numbers, right? So array, and then we learned how to access the index to whenever there are values. Now we'll see examples of string now. Okay, this is all in ints, right? Now let's talk about. I'll just keep it like this, and then now this part. Okay, this is int array operations, and this is string array operations. Now let's see. String names is equal to new string, and then semicolon, and then like this. This one will not have it, and I want to mention 5 names here. Okay, so now let's see what's the error.
Because it's a string.
Yes, so this part is an array, right? And this side it is a string. So both sides should always be same type.
Equal.
So either you can mention here, or I will add it here. Okay, I'll add it here, names, and then square brackets are beside this. So now we have already seen assigning it using the flower brackets, right? Now I want to assign the values to it. So before assigning, let us see what values are present. Okay, what values are present in the names, without assignment. I did not assign anything.
Yeah, but it will print in a list.
Let's see actually what values, because it just gives the 5 elements, right? The string the names can hold 5 elements. So
I think it would be 1.
okay, the name of first person is, so let's see, run the program. What did it print?
Null.
Null. Okay, Means what? Means what? Null means what?
There's nothing.
Yeah, null means it doesn't contain any value or any value or constant or anything. So empty. It is like empty. Now let's see another one.
So if it is empty, oh,
Okay. Now I'll show you something interesting. Okay. Now I'll show you. I'm going to access what? What I'm trying to do? What am I trying to do? I'm trying to do seeing the name of the person in the 6th place, right? 6th index. So
but it's not showing an error.
what is the size? What is the size of the array? Size is 5, but I'm trying to access which index?
6.
6. So I don't know how the program behaves. Let's see what's the output of the program. So before this, shall I comment out this part to avoid the disturbance?
Yeah.
I'll comment out this part and see how the. Okay. Run. What does it say?
Array index out of bound exception.
Perfect. So
But if it is an exception, it should be. Oh yeah, this one.
It is a built-in exception. You see, built-in exception thrown by my program when I try to access index 6, because the length of the array is how much? 5. You understood, right? So what I will do is only this part. There are multiple ways. So one is what? You copy this exception. Okay, you copy this exception and at the method level throws array index out of bounds. This is one way of throwing exception. So doing this will not change the behavior of the program. Okay, doing this will not change the behavior. You can see it. So still throws error, right? So what I do, I'll not do this. I want to handle this. Now you see. Handle what? How to handle?
Try.
So I will go to
try catch finally.
Yes. So catch which exception?
Array index.
Array index out of bounds exception. And then here I will print, or you can just make it simply as ex. Ex dot print stack trace. Print stack trace is nothing but to print the whole error message where exactly it is getting generated. Or you no need to do anything also. Now what happens is it will come here, the program will see here and it will throw an exception, but the exception will not be printed. It will go to the next line of execution and it prints this. Now let's see. You see, it didn't throw any exception because we
catch the exception.
We handled the exception. Means I don't want my program to throw exception. Now you see what the real use case I will help. So let's do a real time program. Okay. Now I want to create a custom exception. Okay. For custom exception, I don't have any package here. So what I do, I'll create an exception. So exception is a package, and inside this exception, what I will do, you go here, go array index out of bounds, right? You just copy this one. Okay. Copy this one first. Go here, right click. Okay, we'll close this one. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create a custom. So here, this is an existing exception, right? So what I will do, custom array index out of bounds exception. So I'm going to write a class. It is a normal class only. So because Java deals with only classes. Now what I do, I will extend to array index out of bounds. Okay.
Yeah, the symbol changed. From C it became lightning.
Yeah, because it's not being used right anywhere.
Yeah.
That's why it comes like this. So now let's see the implementation. So here it needs the array index out of bounds needs 3 kinds of exceptions. So what we will do is we'll just use this one alone. So we don't need this. So let's go here, add this. Yeah, now you see we have to give the same name for the constructor. So whenever you have a function, right, this is a function, right? So this function has got the same name as the class name, right? Then we call it as constructor. Okay, and you see here it has got the capital letter here. You see in array index out of bounds also you see public, and this is the class name, and within this is an empty implementation, so it doesn't have anything. So we call this one as constructor. Okay, what do we call this? The function with the same as class name. The function constructor. Okay, constructor. The same name as the class with or without parameters. Okay. Now, what do you mean by this super? Super. What do you mean by this? What will happen, Advai? Can you guess?
It will call the array index out of bound exceptions.
No. Oh, yeah, correct. So super is nothing but, you know what? Super is like, you know, parent. So
Parent.
remember this. Yeah. So it calls the parent constructor. So whenever you call this one super of, so yes is what? Yes is message. So instead of message, you can make it as custom message. So this custom message, you can pass it to your array index out of bounds. And now I have this one, right? So what I will do is, this is my exception now. What is this exception? This is the custom exception defined by myself. Something, you know, you can give some default description. So that's it. So now your custom exception is done. Now after this, I just have to copy the name of this, or you know, just close it. Close this. Now let's see. I don't want to use array index out of bounds. So what I do? Custom exception, and then use control space or alt enter and import. So now we are importing the custom exception, right? So now exception is here, and then we need to pass the message here. Okay, what we do, or here you can make it as.
So it will be this will be
So
an
we are handling.
unchecked, right?
You see here, this one, it generates the array index out of bounds. So it is generating array index out of bounds. Either you can use this, or you can use our own custom array index out of bounds, and then you can just run the program. You see, it's throwing some error. What is that error? You just have to fix it. Index 6 out of bounds, because this one, this is exactly throwing the array index out of bounds. So you need to handle this array index and then make use of this custom. Okay, so we'll change this program, like, you know, I'm handling the array index out of bounds, and what I do, throw new array index out of bounds. So I'm throwing my own exception here. What I do here is, the index is out of the allowed range. So this is my own message. I'm passing this own message. You know why I'm passing? Because the constructor in the custom array index bound has got string message. So we are passing the parameter as a message. So message is passed as a parameter, and this message we will pass it to array index out of bounds. Okay. So now let's see. Now what kind of exception it should throw?
Unchecked.
Yeah, it should throw this custom array index out of bounds, but it will not come here. It will not come here. Okay, now let's see. The message, you just see this message is appearing or not. Exception in main. What is the exception now? Earlier array index out of bounds was coming, right?
Now custom array.
Now custom array. See, and custom array is what? It says the index is out of the allowed range. So means what at this place, which place you go and control click here or just click here, it will take you. It is going to take you here. And then why this one is thrown? Only one line is here. So because of this, it is throwing an error because it is at 16th index. So now, for now, right, what we'll do is we'll comment out this part. We'll comment out this part. And then we'll proceed to initialize the values to it. So now what I do, names of I. So names of 0. So name of 0 is equal to what? So name of 0 will have Advay. Okay, and then name of 2 will have Hasini. And sorry, this one should be 1. This one should be Anita, and this one is 3, which is and this one is 4, Aditya. Okay. So now let's take, because we have only five elements here, right? So we'll add 5 names here. And now we can use the same S out here. Now let's see what should it print? First time it prints null. Second time it prints Advay, because the name of 0 is already initialized here, assigned a value. So that's why name of 0 contains some value here. Okay. Now you can do this way also. Like I'll just mention this way. Instead of printing the whole thing, right? I'll just mention it like name of 0. And this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Okay, now 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here also you can okay, this is like from column copy you can use Alt keyword. Press Alt, select here, and then Control V. Okay, this is also a very good feature if you are interested. Okay, now I'm going to run this. So it should print all the names now. So you see, name of 0 is Advay, Hasini, Anita, Sneha, and Aditya. Now I don't want to do this hard coded because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is hard coded, right? I don't want hard coded value.
So names of dot length.
Yeah, that one also you can do. Now I will use the for loop. I is equal to index should start with. So now I'll take 1. Okay, let's take an I is equal to 1. Yeah, I'll explain. I less than. What is the length? Less than or equal to. What is the length? Names dot length, right? Names dot length, and then I plus plus. Sorry, here like this. Now I'm using the I starting from 1 And then here you see less than or equal to. What is the length now? Length is 5. So starts with 1 and ends with 5, right? I value. So in this case, what I do, I'll just copy one system.out.println, and then this one should be
I.
okay, this one should be I, and then you see this one should also be I.
I.
Right. Now you see what does the program do? Guess.
It will
Sneha.
start from the first
No,
index.
let me ask Sneha. Let me ask Sneha. Sneha, what do you expect? Does your program run here?
Wait, what was the question? Sorry.
Okay. Now you see. So I'm starting. Here I have hard coded, right? So system.out.println 5 times. We have 5 elements. So 5 times I have written the system.out.println with names of 0 to 1, 2, 3, and up to 4.
Yeah.
So I'm printing it using the hard coded numbers here. So
Okay.
in real time, right, we don't use suppose if there are 100 people, right, 100 names are there. So I don't want to use 100 names like this, right? So to make it easy, I want to make it dynamic. So this is a sequence, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is sequence. So what I do, I will use for loop. For I is equal to 0, usually it should, because the index should start with 0, right? But here I have used it as 1. And the names, what is the length of these names? How many? There are 5. So now 5 and then I plus plus. So what does it do is the index is starting at 1. And what is the length? Length is 5. So is equal to, there is a equal to. So the last index, what is the last index by this for loop? The last index of I will be 5 because of this equal to. Okay. So now with that, right, the starting index is 5. Sorry, the starting value is 1 and the ending index is 5 using this for loop, right? So I'm trying to access from 1, names of 1, names of 2, names of 3 up to names of 5. So what will my program do? Whether it will run or it will fail. Sneha. Okay, I just said here, right? So the index, the last index is what? What will be the last index of this string? Advay?
Huh? Last in the 4.
Last index is 4. Whereas in this case, right, the value of I is what in the last loop?
5.
5. So names of 5, what will happen? It will throw an exception here, right?
Yeah.
So what I should do? I should just use I minus 1.
1. Yeah.
Means the first iteration, when the first iteration, the value of I is 1 now, right? So it comes here and then 1 minus 1. What will be the value? 0.
0.
Names of 0 it will print. So names of 0 is Advay. Like that, second iteration. Now I plus plus, right? So I becomes 2 now. So for the second iteration, it comes here and then 2 minus 1. So names of 2 minus 1 is how much?
1.
1. So names of 1 will be printed. So names of 1 is Hasni. So like that, the iterations will go on. And the last index is equal to is there, right? So names dot length will be 5. So now the I value will be 5. And then 5 minus 1 is 4.
4.
So it will now when you use -1, the program will run successfully. Okay. Now you see, I will run without -1. It will throw an error. See, it is throwing an error here. Where is it throwing an error? You see, I'm clicking. Yeah, 160. So here, suppose I use minus 1. I use minus 1. Okay, this part also I will comment out. This is pretty simple. So we'll use the for loop now. Okay, now you see if I use minus 1, it will correctly print names of 1, 2, 3. You see here it doesn't start with 0. Why? Because I don't want to, this is like printing statement only, right? The printing
Yeah,
statement.
the user will get confused.
Yeah, for printing statement, this is for me only. So first element, second element, I will read it. I don't want to start because my program want to consider from 0, but for me, I want it from 1. So I will read it from first element, second element, third element, fourth element, fifth element. But for program, it needs to start with 0th index, right? So that's why it uses minus 1. Okay, so this way it will work. So you see here, if I remove again this one, then
In the last.
throw an error. It will throw an error. Without that, minus 1. So give a space and then run this program. So it should generate the output. So this is the dynamic way. Yes, Sanita.
Instead of this -1, right? Whether if we change it to int I equal to 0, that one also will work.
Exactly. Perfect, Anita. Okay, I will copy this one. I'll comment out this
Yeah,
part.
it will work.
So what's Anita's question is, why I want to use this one. So yes, you have to make it 0. I starts with 0. And what should be
But
the
then
index?
they cannot be a negative index.
So yes, here you just have to use less than length. Less than length. So what is the length here? 5, right?
Yeah, because there's no fifth.
So in this case you should not, sorry, in this case you should not put is equal to condition. You should not put is equal to condition. So you just have to take it out. Because now the names dot length is how much? 5.
5.
So when you do I plus plus, right?
There's no
it will go,
5. 15.
yeah, it will go up to 4 only, because 5 it cannot become, because this condition will fail when it becomes 5. So when it becomes fail, it doesn't enter into this. So this way, when index start, the value that you have assigned is from 0, right? In this case, you can directly use this without -1. And then here you want to show it from the index 1, right? For us, for readability purpose.
+1.
Just use +1. So in this case, what will happen? The names of 1, names of 2, it will come, and then here the program will consider from 0, because the value starts from 0. Now I'm going to save this, run this, and then you see the program runs without any error, and you see the names of 0, the names of 1. So let's see, if I don't specify this one, what will happen? Right click, run. So you see it starts with 0. Okay, for readability purpose, I don't want, for my purpose, I don't want to.
The user should not get confused.
Yeah, so that's why I always use +1 for myself. For program, I will always give 0, okay, as the index. So this way you can do many, play with the arrays. Okay. So next week we will see about this is like, single dimension array. Okay. This is single dimension array. So next week we'll see multi-dimension.
So what is the purpose of multi-dimension?
Okay. So we'll talk about multi-dimension array next week. So so are there any matrix started in your class in the mathematics subject?
No, my
No,
father
right?
told will be in university. Right?
Yeah, actually, it will start. Actually, it will start in, maybe in 9th grade or 10th grade. I think you may start to use the 2-dimensional arrays. So 2-dimensional array is like,
Yes,
rows
sir,
and columns.
but I know what are those matrices.
Yeah, something like this. So this is first row, okay, and This is first row, right? Second row is
Yeah, I
like
have used it in
5.
NumPy.
Yeah, correct. This is second row. Okay, and multi-dimension is this one. It can grow in the horizontal or it can grow in the vertical. Okay, this is two-dimensional. This is two-dimension array. Okay, this part is two-dimension array. Three dimensions are also there. Means like cube, Rubik cube is there, right? So
Yeah.
Rubik cube is a three-dimension.
Yeah.
So like, horizontal, vertical, and the depth also.
Wait, so sir, you have to introduce J then, right, for the column.
Repeat again.
So if you're trying to find the index for a two-dimensional array, then you have to introduce another variable like J, right?
Exactly. Let me give some idea on that, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, we just use this one, right? Okay, we use this. Yeah, we'll use this one only. So same thing actually. It's not big actually. So instead of this, right, what I do, I'll use this one. So I'll have to use two brackets like this, square brackets like this. So the first one, 1, and then this one is 5. Okay, here. Is already defined like this. So this is two-dimension arrays. So this part we will discuss in the next class. Okay. Now, two dimensions we just refer this
So
one as
it has
first
a
row.
height of 5 and a,
Yeah, no, one row and then 5 columns.
yeah, I was
Rows
seeing
and
that.
columns. So if you mention this like the first as 2, right? So it's a 2 rows and 5 columns,
Yeah.
like that. Okay. So yeah, that's it from my side. And then I gave some practice lessons here. So practice work. So like take 10 integer inputs from user, or to write it in the program and store them in an array and print them on the screen. So you can try this. You have to apply your thoughts now. From today onwards, like you have to start applying your thoughts. So these are all like real programs.
So do we need to use the for loop?
Yes, you use the for loop. It's up to you how you want to do it. Okay. So, but you have to practice. If you don't practice, you'll never come to know. Actually, very tough later. Now, basics are very important. So if you learn whatever I said till now, right? Any programming language you go, the concept would be same actually. Only the syntactical representation would be different. Like in this case, this is the syntax in Java. Whereas in Python, the representation would be different. That's it. But the
Yeah.
concept is same. Arrays. It also contains arrays, something like that. Okay. But you try to practice the whole work that I have given till now. Okay, and the second one is the write a program to find the sum and product of all the elements of the array. All the elements means what? Assume that even numbers, right? So find sum of all these numbers and find multiplication of all these numbers. Means 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10 plus 12 plus
Yeah,
14 plus
that's
16.
easy.
Yeah, you just have to, that's a program you have to implement. So next, initialize and print all the elements of the two-dimension array. So two-dimension array is like, just now I said, right? This one. So if you want to access, how you will do? Emp names of 0. It will start with 0 and then 0th element. So 0th row, 0th column means first row, first column. You just assign a value here like this. Okay. Now, similarly, how many rows, how many columns you can have? 5, right?
5.
So you can like this. So this one would be 1. Sorry, this one would be 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Okay, now what happens is after this, copy, and then I'll just paste it here. So, okay, this is the first row. How many rows we can have? 2 rows,
2.
right? So you just copy this and then paste it here. And now what you have to do is, this one is the second row. So this one, sorry, this one should be 1, 1, 1.
So there are 15 possibilities.
No, that's it. Now done, because this is 2 times of 5, right? Means how many 10
Oh
elements will
yeah,
be there?
yeah. I
So
forgot.
2 rows and 5 columns. So this is first row and this is second row.
Yeah.
Okay, first row and second row. Okay, like this. So first row contains, Advay 0, 0, 1. So Advay 2, Advay 3, Advay 4. Second row, Hasni 0, Hasni 1, Hasni 2, Hasni 3, Hasni 4. Like this. And then you can print these values. Okay. So for this, dynamic way of printing, I will tell in the next class using the for loop. Okay, like, the third one, the last one is take 20 integer inputs from, hard code or use it, and identify number of positive numbers in it, identify negative numbers in it, and number of odd numbers in it, and that number of even
We
numbers
can
in it.
use the modulus.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You just print the count of positive numbers, count of negative numbers among these 20 numbers, random numbers. Okay, so from next class onwards, I'll start giving the practice work like this. Then it would be easy for you all. Okay, yeah, that's it from my side. We took a long time. I'm so sorry for this. So I just wanted to give you more information. So yeah, I'll see you in the next class. Okay.
Sir, since we didn't go through the Boolean types for an array, right?
Yeah.
Basically, like, is it just that like the size of the array will always be 2 because it's
Yeah,
like,
true. It's like you see, it is same actually. It is similar to this. So you just mention it as Boolean, and then you retired. Okay, new Boolean of make an example of 4 values only. So here retired of 0. It should start with retired of 0 is equal to false, like this. So this one will become 1, this one will become 2, and this one will become 3. So 4 only, right? So it becomes true, and then this becomes true, and then last one is false. So now we got all the Boolean values assigned to this retired variable. You understood, right, Sneha?
oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Okay.
So it's just a type actually. So collection of values we can store. So collection of true, false values for this variable. Okay, inside this variable.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So you can print it actually. Later you can print it also. If you want, like, if you want some operations to check, right? So maybe I'll give real use case for practice. Then it would be, you'll be adapting to the programming. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for all of you. I'll see you in the next class. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. But practice. Okay. Everybody must practice. I'm not sure, Sneha, are you practicing? I doubt actually.
I've been going through content mostly because I've been like busy with university work, but yeah, I'll definitely start because actually in university we're starting Java as well. So
Okay.
yeah, so in that reason I'll like definitely continue.
Yeah, you have to do it anyways.
Yeah.
But try it now. No, you can be advanced stage. When basics will be taught there, right? You can be in a better advanced position.
Yeah, at least with this class I'll be a little bit ahead. So for that reason,
Okay. So practice actually will help. Practicing the programs, right? The thoughts actually, it's the work on your brain. So when you start writing programs, right? So your brain will be, started thinking actually. Okay, yeah, that's it from my side. So see you on Tuesday. Okay, thank you all. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, Dwayne. Bye, Anita.
Bye.